Hello and welcome on 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adeni Aji. We just have to look at those stories trending in the world of sport. We have to start from the home scene where we talk about beach volleyball. Beach volleyball tour is taking place in Abuja, and right now Nigerians we have to look at the fact that this sport is gaining momentum. And the president of Nigerian Volleyball Federation, Musa Nimrod, saying, well, we want to break the jinx, we want to get to the Olympic Games to participate at the beach volleyball there. That's the Olympics that will be coming up in 2024. If you are able to make it, that will be wonderful. Because when it comes to volleyball, we do well, but the beach volleyball, we want to break that jinx and get to the Olympic Games. Well, good one coming from Musa Nimrod there. Now, having in the studio, Ibrahim Yusuf will join me to talk sport this hour. Good to have Ibrahim.
Great to be here, Denny.
Good. Now, that sport's called beach volleyball, you know, very enticing, very kind of sport you look at, oh, beach everywhere, and the sand, the ambience, the joy of having that breeze and all that. And we are going to be seeing that often, but according to the federation, the president of the federation, Nigerian Beach Volleyball, Volleyball Federation, who also double as the one governing this, is saying, well, they will do everything possible to make sure Nigeria qualify for the Olympics.
Yes, well, the past two previous Olympic Games, I mean, like Nigeria came second when it came to the qualifiers, and they actually failed to get at the last hurdle. That's where they fail. So I think right now it's time for us to make that final push and get a team in France. We've been doing exceptionally well between the last Olympic qualifiers till now. I mean, like, we've grown the game a lot within the shores of this country. We've gotten a lot of traction. We've got a lot of interest. Lots of interest has been generated, a lot of tournaments being played, and lots of stars being discovered as well. So I think we've come a long way. We've come in leaps and bounds from the last qualifiers till now. And I think we actually have what it takes to be able to make it to France, because that will be like the crowning achievement of all this hard work that's been put in to beach volleyball all these years. It will be the crowning achievement to actually make it to France in 2024.
Hopefully that will happen. We want to see our guys, the ladies and the men, playing beach volleyball over there in Paris, France in 2024 Olympics. Well, the president of Nigerian Volleyball Federation, Engineer Musa Nimrod, spoke, and let's listen to what he said concerning volleyball, beach volleyball.
From the current board, let me just tell you, is the entire current board, they have a passion for the game. There are people, before we came for the second tenure, we all had a passion for the game. And it's not issue of money. We're sacrificing. Now, let me tell you regarding sponsorship. We have open doors, but we've been telling each of our sponsors that comes to us, we want to have a sustainable sponsorship. I don't want a sponsorship that today, you give me a sponsor just for 2022 and 2023, no more again. I'm not helping. The federation is not helping the game. There must be continuity, sustainable, whereby if you agree for 3 to 4 years, fantastic. We enter into an agreement with you. And then any other sponsor that come, then we can now shift into another junior category or another format of the game. So our doors are open. And that's why we have the product. The Nigerian Volleyball Federation has the product to sell, to the platform for any sponsor to come. And I'm telling you, as I'm talking to you, I want to thank God. Our players are moving out of Nigeria for professional volleyball. I'm very proud of that, and I'm pleased with that. More will be going to Europe. Yes, that's just our desire.
Okay, just like you've done.
They are coming from Musa Nimrod as the president of Nigerian Volleyball Federation, talking about how he wants Nigerian volleyball to be sustained when it comes to sponsorship. He wants that something that will make the players get at least always happy, because if they have sponsorship, it will drive that particular sport. I think I love the fact that if you check volleyball really in Nigeria, it's one of those sports that, aside football, when you think of Nigerian sport, Volleyball Federation, they really work hard to make sure they promote that sport, not forgetting handball. All of them have been working hard to promote it, but really it would be nice to have Nigeria at the Olympics.
Yes, it will be very nice.
Beach.
Exactly. It will be very nice to have a Nigerian team play at the beach volleyball in the Olympics. And you just made a very valid point that most of our sports that suffer are not really because we don't have the talent, it's not because we don't have the players, it's administration. Once you have a board that is actually committed towards developing that particular sport, it will go a long way in doing that. You just heard what the NVBF chairman said. He said he wants a sustainable kind of sponsorship, not just a year-on-year kind of thing. At least something that will take 3, 4, 5 years. Have a long-term plan, and that is what we need. We need long-term plans to be able to develop our sports from where they are to where they need to get. And the first thing you need to do is when you have a league, when you have something being played in a league format, you need a sponsor. You need a title sponsor. Once you actually have that, and you have that for a sustainable number of years, I mean, it will grow in leaps and bounds, and before you know what's happening, other sponsors will come in as well. No matter how we try to put it, no matter how we try to spin it, sports cannot be developed without money. Money has to be in sports. But people need to see it as a business first so that they can invest, not just giving money for charity, but they invest in it so that they know the returns are coming back. So if we don't have business models for our sports, that is when that's when we have a problem. So if we run our sports as businesses, just like you said, it's business and fitness, and it's the business of keeping fit. So that is what we need to do. We need to make it a business, make it profitable so that we can be able to sustain our sports. And before you know what's happening, once we have these models in place, once we get these things done, government will hands off sports. All these federations can actually take care of themselves because they'll be generating their own money and running themselves.
And that takes me to football. If you look at just like what you said, it means if we actually run this thing very healthy, we can have private organizations coming in just the way it was in the 80s, where almost all the teams are owned by private organizations.
Privately owned. You understand? That is something that kills our league now. When you look at the league, when you look at the 20 teams there in the league, how many are privately owned? Even the few ones that manage to scale through.
They are also being strangled to leave the place. Now, I heard 2-3 days ago that MFM, even though they relegated, that they might not come back
because of the financial constraints. You understand that they actually go through. So most of these things. I mean, back in the days, we had the Abiola Babes, we had the Ranch Bees, we had the USC Lions, we had the BCC Lions of Boko. We had these were
their names alone. Their names alone, you'll be like, wow.
You know the Leventis Uniteds of this world. You know we had teams that they stood on their own. But now it's Kwara United, Kogi United, Nasarawa United, Gombe United.
Adamawa.
Every state has a United now. You understand? It doesn't really make much sense how our football is being run, and it's because it's just so much government influence, and because they are the ones who have the money. And the reason why that happens is private investors do not see it as an investment. They don't see it as a worthwhile investment to put their money in football. So that is what we need to do. Shape our football and our sports generally into businesses that can be profitable, and people will be attracted to come and invest.
We need to attract people, at least sponsors for our sports. Really, like I always said, that sport is business. That word business there, if we do it well, sport can really change a lot of things in Nigeria. Get people employed. A lot of people that are not even into the sports properly, as in maybe the athletes. You can work there as a psychologist, you can work there as an interpreter, you can work in sport, and whatever you study, it can work in sport if you really allow that organization to work well. We've been talking about beach volleyball, where the tour is going on across different, it will be moving around Nigeria anyway, but this is the second phase, and it has started, according to the president of the federation, Musa Nimrod. He wants that sport sustained. Beach volleyball, he wants to see it at the Olympics in 2024. We've never done it before, and now we want to break that genes of being at the Olympic Games. Now, quickly, let's run through some matches. Games will be coming up tonight in different angles over there in Europe. We look at Manchester United against Aston Villa, and someone said Aston Villa EPL, they defeated Manchester United. Now it's vice versa. Vice versa.
We might see a different result. We
different Man United.
Yeah, we might different, because you know the Manchester United this season, most especially this season, they're quite unpredictable. You don't know which Manchester United is going to turn up. You know, you can have the Manchester
inconsistent.
United, very inconsistent. You don't know. You might be the Manchester United that can come and obliterate teams, or they can be the ones that can be total shambles. So we really don't know which one is turning up. For Aston Villa's sake, I hope the last Manchester United they played should turn up, you understand, so that they can actually beat them.
Don't do
you
that.
know, I said for Aston Villa's sake, you understand.
Okay, for my United fans' sake.
Yeah, but for the sake of Manchester United fans, I hope that the real Manchester United comes out, because
out.
we know that this Manchester United that got dismantled by Aston Villa, it's not the real Manchester United. Manchester United, the players are not their problem. Talent is not their issue. They have the players, they have the talent. I still think there's a mentality issue in this current Manchester United team. Ten Hag has done what he could. He is doing what he can actually to get that mentality, give them that mentality to push on and do a lot of things that they are supposed to be doing. But there's still one or two things that need to be fixed in that Manchester United team. But I actually believe once this Manchester United get their groove, they will be on fire. They will be a force to be reckoned with. Believe you me, they actually have what it takes to go all the way when it comes to the Premier League. But right now, they're not cutting it.
They are not cutting it at all. And right now, Manchester United needs to get their groove. But how will they get their groove? We don't know. But they'll be facing Aston Villa in the EFL Cup. Just like all the London clubs have been booted out, we also hope that the team from Manchester, although we see about Manchester City are doing well, they were able to defeat Chelsea in their game. And now Manchester United will be having a feel of a day because Aston Villa recently defeated them, and they will be looking at would they be able to turn things around again against the team from Old Trafford. And that match will be coming up tonight. A tough one it will be because they want to prove a point. Ten Hag, the entire squad, like some people actually felt that the players, they need to remember the jersey they are wearing, that it is for Manchester United. Now we move on to Spanish La Liga. Matches will be coming up there. Let's look at those games before we go Italian. Rayo Vallecano against Celta de Vigo. Real Betis away to Valencia. What a match it will be in that game. Valencia, Real Betis will be a tough one. And you have Real Madrid, Los Merengues, Los Blancos. If you want to call it the Galacticos, you can't actually call them that. They'll be facing Cadiz, and they know that they are 5 points behind Barcelona, who are right now sleeping with their two eyes. Not too close anyway.
Yeah, well, I mean, like Real Madrid's loss to, but it actually it opened a lot of things up for Barcelona, and actually they were able to win their own game and push on and get the little bit of distance that they actually needed. Nobody thought Madrid were going to lose that game.
If I remember, the guess I had was like, oh, Real Madrid will blow these guys out.
Exactly. Everybody thought that. I mean, like the Real Madrid who have been seen this season will go there, do the business, and just move on. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. So they have got a reality check. That's a wake-up call for them to know that, okay, fine, these guys are not going to be not going to be lying down and get beat all the time you turn up. You understand? So it's actually a wake-up call for them. So I think they will come out all guns blazing right now, because they will not underrate anybody, and they will come out all guns blazing for this match.
Now, Real Betis,
Valencia.
Fantastic team.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic, amazing. I saw them at the Seville derby. Absolutely fantastic, brilliant players, brilliant group of players, brilliant manager. They play some fantastic football this season, and they're on a high. You understand? They've got the confidence now to actually go in and beat almost everybody. Going to the Mestalla will not actually, it will not scare them. They will actually go there and take on Valencia. Valencia are having an indifferent season, you know. They're just more. They're more like the Manchester United of Spain.
Fluctuating.
You understand? They fluctuate. You know, today they play scintillating football. Tomorrow they're in shambles. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Gattuso is feeding them in the locker room, but they're just all over the place. But we hope today, for our sake, as neutrals, we hope that the real Valencia will show up and we'll have the real Betis, and so that we can have a fantastic game that we can actually call. But Real Betis are having a phenomenal season. Brilliant group of players, absolutely brilliant, playing fantastic football. I mean, they are on a high right now, and it will be very difficult for Valencia to stop Real Betis winning this match, no matter where it is played. But we do hope, for our sake, as neutrals, that the real Valencia shows up and we get an absolutely amazing game.
Amazing game it will be between Valencia, the Mestalla Stadium, against Real Betis. For Real Madrid, Santiago Bernabeu, the place to be, as they want to bounce back from that particular injury they got in their last game against Valladolid there. Well, big one for them. Real Madrid just have to cut the point. Right now, Barcelona are leading the pack ahead of them with extra 5 points, even though they were on top of the table for a very long time. But now they are second on the log, and they are the defending champion anyway, but they want to work hard to see how they can do it. When you talk about Champions League, they are there. They are the champions right now. You can't take that away from Real Madrid.
You can't. Well, the Champions League League is actually theirs. That's their scene. They've dominated Europe. Nobody can take that away from them. They have more Champions League trophies than anybody else. No matter how bad they're playing in the league, they always find a way in the Champions League.
I still don't know how they do it. It's like there's another spirit of Champions League in Real Madrid.
They always find a way in the Champions League, no matter how poorly they're doing in La Liga.
You see, those the year they won it back to back to back.
Exactly.
During the Zidane
era.
What was their?
They were not doing fantastically well when it came to the when it came to the domestic league, but they were obliterating teams when it came to the Champions League. I think that spirit of the Champions League is always in them, and they always find a way when it comes to that. Could they make it this season? Well, it's
at least 13 times record.
Yes, that's
13 times.
It's very difficult to catch up. It's very, very difficult, and you can't doubt them that. I mean, like, they are the kings of Europe.
They are the kings of Europe. Talking about the Los Blancos, the one they call the White. Real Madrid, they are quickly. Let's go straight to Italy, and let's look at the match that will be coming up today. Matches will be on. There are two matches. Juventus, as they were able to do well last time against Inter Milan. They will be facing Hellas Verona, and Lazio in the city of Rome. They are back home now. They will be facing Monza. Lazio defeated Roma at that time, and now can Monza do it? You just have to watch out against the giant-killing Monza. They can't, if you underrate them, at your own peril.
Yeah, Monza have a great group of players, but I think they're still intimidated by the Serie A status. They're still not there yet. They're not Serie A material, but they do have a great group of players. I think if they're able to manage to stay up this season, maybe from next season they can be able to kick on and actually believe that they can do Serie A the way it's supposed to be done. Maybe against Lazio, it's going to be difficult for them because Lazio are on a high right now. I mean, like, they just won the derby. They're feeling absolutely fantastic. Winning the derby in Rome is such a big deal when it comes to that. So I think they are on a high. Juventus playing Hellas Verona. I think Juventus, just like Lazio, are on a high. Won the Derby d'Italia against Inter. Absolutely fantastic. I think it was one of the best Juventus performances we've seen so far this season. Yeah, if they're able to keep up that momentum. I think Allegri now putting his faith in the young ones. I think he sees that that's the way to go because they have been his saviors over the past couple of games. So I think he's putting more faith in the youngsters right now to come up and do the business. So I think they can use that win against Inter to kick-start their season and really, really make a go at the Serie A table.
The Bianconeri, Juventus, just have to up their game if they are to do well in the game against Hellas Verona tonight. Quickly, we run through some stories trending in the world of gossip. That's the football. The Manchester United, we know, yes, right now they may not be one of the best in Europe, but they've been there. They have history, and a lot of players want to still play for Manchester United, despite the fact that they are fluctuating now. If you think of European football right now, you have a Nigerian who right now is dominating the headlines there concerning scoring goals. His name, Victor Osimhen. Osimhen right now is being a face that all clubs want to sign. Manchester United face competition from Real Madrid to sign Osimhen, and that would be nice to have the Nigerian talisman because Osimhen right now, he has scored 9 goals so far for Napoli this season when it comes to the Scudetto race. And right now, Real Madrid, Carlo Ancelotti wants him, and Manchester United, Erik ten Hag also, they are putting their eye on him. So right now it's a battle.
Yeah, an absolutely brilliant player, prolific goal scorer. You have speed, you have strength, very good in the air, technically sound. I think he's an all-round striker. Yeah, maybe not the kind of person that can make runs from deep and link up the play as much as a lot of managers would want him to, but I think he's an absolute phenomenal player. But the thing is, yes, Manchester United name drop, Real Madrid drop his name, but is Napoli willing to sell? And for how much? That is one thing that you need to look at. They don't really need the money right now as it is. And if by chance they actually win the Serie A title this season, they definitely won't need the money, and they're having a very good run in the Champions League as well this season. But the thing is, well, everybody has a price. I think, and those two teams, if there's any team that can actually buy any player for almost any amount, is those two teams that we're talking about. Will it be a good move for him? Maybe it could not, because if he goes for any of those teams, that means he'll be going to a different team, a different country, trying out a different league, which is very difficult for lots of people to actually adjust to. Even when he came to Napoli, he had an adjustment period before he was able to kick in and become who he is today. And so that's the thing. So even if the money is right, he needs to be able to decide whether it's a good move for him at this point in his career or not. Maybe he needs a few more years in Italy before he thinks about moving on elsewhere, or maybe the move can actually favor him. But for him to be able to be making the news being talked about in circles in the same sentence as Real Madrid and Manchester United, you know that this lad has done very well for himself.
Very well for himself when it comes to football. Osimhen has been fantastic over there in Napoli, the city of Naples. They know him. Osimhen really doing well. Well, for Real Madrid, Manchester United, the battle is on. Let's see where the Nigerian will actually land himself finally. And now we still quickly look at Manchester United are interested in signing Argentina midfielder Enzo Fernandez from Benfica. Fernandez has been fantastic for Benfica so far. Man United are looking at getting him from the Portuguese league.
Brilliant player. Absolutely brilliant player. And, well, we know of a certain Portuguese player that actually came from the Portuguese league and made his name in Manchester United. So maybe they're thinking of towing that line as well with Fernandes. But he's an absolute brilliant player, and I think he will be a very good addition to any team that he actually comes into. He'll do wonders for them. Manchester United, do they need a player in the mold of that? I think they already have their own Fernandes. You know, and I think he's just a bit low on confidence right now, and he needs that kind of boost to be able to do that. But still, it's not a bad idea for you to bolster your squad, get as many players in as you can, quality players as well, who can actually do the business for you.
Who can actually do the business for you. Talking about Enzo Fernandez being at least run after by Manchester United. They want to get him to join them over there at Old Trafford. And now she's talking about some transfer stories now. Newcastle United, they've got money now, but then they want to spend £70 million on transfer this summer to continue squad overhaul. They want to overhaul their squad, at least add more spice to that club. Right now they are doing well in the EPL, and right now they want to add more to see how they can better the lot of that team they call the Magpies. Now quickly, let's talk about Chelsea. The Blues are keen in signing Atletico Madrid's Uruguayan defender, Jose Maria Jimenez. Jimenez has been the player that Chelsea are keen to sign. Well, one way or the other, Atletico Madrid seems to be a place where most times Chelsea always love going there to get some players.
Yeah, most especially defensive players. I mean, like they have a very good defensive unit, and they are known for actually producing very, very good defensive players. So I think it's a good place to go and shop for defenders if you're actually doing that. Because if there's one thing that Diego Simeone knows how to do, is how to build a very, very solid defensive unit, which he has done over the years in Atletico Madrid. Jimenez, if he will be a right fit for Chelsea, I always fault Chelsea's recruitment. I think they mostly get it wrong sometimes. It's not really spot on. Maybe by then they would have actually gotten themselves a real sporting director that knows what football is all about, so that they can be able to make the difference.
Well, the last one says Newcastle wants Real Betis French forward Nabil Fekir for €50 million, a player, promising players at that time when he busted out. But right now, they want to get him at least to join them. Real Betis, we know they have been fantastic when it comes to football in Spain. And this player has been one of those players that have changed things there. Newcastle, they want to at least focus on money to buy him.
For the past 3 or 4 seasons, every off-season, you will see Nabil Fekir in the headlines, in the rumors. He's always topping the rumors. He almost went to Liverpool at one point, and it was the same amount, 50 million. That was what was being quoted at that time. He almost
that
went
means
there.
He has not, the valuation has not dropped.
Exactly. His valuation has not dropped because he's a phenomenal player, like absolutely brilliant player. A lot of people are still surprised that he has in Betis up till now. I'm still surprised that he's still in Betis up till now. I would have thought that he would have moved to any of these bigger clubs, so to speak, by now, because he has been in the news, just like I said, for the past 3-4 seasons. You will always hear Nabil Fekir. He's going here, he's going there, he's going here, he's going there. Unfortunately, almost all the time he ends up staying exactly where he is. Newcastle have the money now. They actually have the money, and they have a very good recruitment policy. They're not going crazy, buying everybody that they believe they can actually buy. I think they're being methodical with their purchases. They're looking at places they need to strengthen. They're strengthening wisely, spending their money wisely as well. They have the cash. If the cash is there to be splashed, they will splash it. And I think getting Fekir will be an absolute game changer for them, because he's the kind of player that will allow your team, or give your team the opportunity to make that leap in quality. You know, from being what Newcastle is now, which is top 10 mid-table team, to being in the high echelons of the EPL, which I think they're heading towards right now, because I think that's the target. With how they're being able to spend their money, how they're recruiting, that's where they want to get to the team within the next few years. And I think they're getting there, because they're on the right path to actually get in there. Eddie Howe has surprised a lot of people, me included, because I was one of the first people that said Eddie Howe was not the right man to lead Newcastle with this amount of money that they actually have. He has turned things around, because he hasn't gone crazy, saying, okay, fine, I'm going to splash splash the cash on this one. I'm going to get this big name. I'm going to get that big name. He would have had an ego problem to contend with by now if he had done that. And it's not certain that he will be able to blend all those players together. But now he's gotten his players. He's bringing in them one by one, figuring out places that he needs to plug, and he's plugging it, getting his style of play across to the players, building his philosophy into Newcastle, and he's getting the job done.
He's getting the job done. Talking about well, really, it's you also have to look at football at times. You just get it right. Newcastle United, they want to play, so many players. 17 million pounds would be ground for the man to spend when it comes to transfer, and they will be doing business over there. Magpies, St James Park, expecting much players to join them when it comes to football. We've been running through all this story in the world of football, and we talked about beach volleyball in Nigeria. It's getting momentum. And according to the president of the federation, it says we want beach volleyball to be in Olympics in 2024. Hopefully that dream will be actualized, and we want to see our beach volleyballers there showcasing their talent. Well, we have to go now. Ibrahim Yusuf, we appreciate your time with us.
Yeah, it's been brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Good one. I am Adini Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.